Launching a business can be very exciting, but at the same time, it can be very stressful and very scary. Okay? Especially in a country like Nigeria where we all know money does not grow on trees. In this particular video, I'm going to show you 7 key things that you should put in place when it's time for you to launch your business and give it the highest chance of success. Once you understand what you are launching, understand what exactly you have available. Like, know it up to a number. Okay, we have this amount of this product, this amount of this product, things like that. If you don't have this, if you don't know these things, it sounds so simple. Like, oh, obviously we should know that when we're launching a product, but you'll be shocked how many times a lot of people don't have this information when they're launching their product. What colors are available? What sizes are available? Where do you deliver to? When you are launching, which people can you deliver to? You want to have all this information so you don't waste your time talking to people that you know you cannot patronize, talking to people that you know cannot patronize you. Not because they don't want to, but because they can't. You can't be selling your products to people in Zaria, Kaduna, Abuja. Meanwhile, you can only deliver within Ikeja. The next one is for you to pick the right time to launch, okay? And I'm going to paint a picture. So I'm going to give you 2 different scenarios here. So let's imagine I'm starting 2 businesses. The first one is a hamper business, right? So I make beautiful hampers for corporate clients, end of year parties, end of year celebrations for parents, their kids, their loved ones, things like that. So imagine I'm starting that business, but I launched that business in the 3rd week of January. Okay, don't forget, 3rd week of January. And then I have another business that I'm starting, right? And in this business, I sell cow. That's my hustle. I'm selling cow. So that particular business, I launched it 2 to 3 weeks before the Ilea celebrations, right? Which one do you think would be more successful when it's time to launch? Obviously, the cow business will be more successful because I have potential to have more customers closer to my launch time, right? So people will be interested that, that's true. You said that you're starting this cow business. Oh yeah, now let me buy a cow from you. I need to celebrate Ilea. That sort of thing, right? Meanwhile, the hamper business that started in January, and we all know how January can be quite long, right? And nobody really does a lot of gifting in January. But people do, but not a lot. It's not very common, right? I have to probably wait till maybe Valentine's Day or Mother's Day, or hopefully get a very big corporate client to before I can even begin to make any money. So basically, summary of all these scenarios that we've painted here is that you want to make sure that you pick the right time to launch your product. After picking the right time, the next thing you want to look at is picking the right place. Now, ideally, if possible, you want to launch with an event. Sometimes, depending on the kind of business you're doing, you might not launch with an event. And it also depends on your financial capacity, let me call it that. But there are certain ways where you can piggyback off a launch on a bigger launch, right? And let me explain. There's the GT Food Fest, right? I believe that's what it's called, or GT Food and Drink Food Fest. You can actually launch your business in that event. So if you want to start selling parfait, or you want to start selling some sort of special delicacy, I don't see anything stopping you from launching in that event. Like leveraging the noise, leveraging the hype and the publicity around it, and then also intertwining that into your own brand story or into your own brand communication and leveraging that in your own materials, right? In that scenario, when people come to your booth or your table or your stand, you can also tell them that story that, oh, you guys, you wouldn't believe it that we're actually launching today. Like, please, this is our launch offer. Make sure you get something. For every meal you get, for every drink you get, it comes with this. Oh, thank you so much for being part of our journey. Follow us on social media as well to be part of the future stories. Would you give us a review? Will you give us a testimonial? Oh, what do you think about this? You know, that whole experience of launching at this bigger event kind of helps the story of your event, of your launch event, being much more exciting, right? And then some people always want to be part of, oh, I was the first person to patronize this business, things like that, right? So you can actually launch at an event. Now, I'm not saying that everybody can launch at GT Food and Drink, right? No. So there are other small events you can look at. And in a particular video, I spoke about how, what's he called now? The guy that was selling bread and egg in my church, right? That was, well, not in my church, but the church I was going to at that particular moment, where it was just a simple setup. He came every Sunday, and I was like, bruh, this is something I can do as well, right? So that's an event. Every Sunday is an event. Again, speak to the people there to make sure it's something you can do. Another thing is, you can set up a pop-up event. Tell your friends to bring a +1, +2, +3, and that's it. You have a launch event, right? You document that whole process, put it up on your social media platforms, talk about it online, and you're good to go. This is something that you have to do even before you launch, right? Once you've decided that, yes, I'm going to start a business, right? You've already got it into your head that, yes, I'm going to start this business. Please begin to collect some form of social proof or content, right? Anybody that gives you a compliment, anybody that sends you a text message, anybody that sends you a voice note, anybody that sends you pictures, save it. Save every single thing and find a way to tell your story. Tell their story in your business. Your future customers, they look at these things. Okay, this business is new, but this is what people are saying about this new business. Oh, let me give it a try. Another thing you can do here is to actually have a soft launch. So a soft launch is sort of like a pre-launch or like a tester or a taste test for how the big launch would go. Okay, a soft launch could be you saying, oh, let's just get 50 people into a room, 100 people in a room, let them test this product or test this service, and let us begin to get feedback, right? Now, the reason why I want to do a soft launch is because soft launches typically give you access to more information down the line. So, for example, if one of the products that you sell is already looking like it's going to be a bestseller because everybody keeps tilting towards that product, when you're making your marketing materials and when you're launching and talking about the product, you first want to make sure that that particular bestseller is in front of everybody, right? You also want to make sure that you have an agreement with your supplier or your manufacturer or your shipping agent, depending on where you get it. And you want to make sure that they are ready to bring in more stock in case you actually run out of stock. Now, every successful launch has an intentional launch offer. If somebody buys something, right, and this is the one I use for my e-commerce businesses, when your first purchase is full price, right? Most times I offer free delivery and things like that because Nigerians love discounts. Jeez. Anyways, so let's say your first order was full price, but you get free delivery, right? There are certain things that we do in our business where at every given moment, we have a discount that rotates. So we have multiple type of discounts. I need something I shared in the EMBA program. But we have multiple type of discounts where you never come into any of my e-commerce businesses and you don't have a discount that you can leverage. We do that so that people don't ask for it. And even when people ask for it, we let them know that it's already there. Anyways, so how you want to create a ripple effect and get people to come back to patronize you again in your business is very simple. Once they've patronized, you've given them their first discount, they need to come back to enjoy the second discount. Now, obviously, you need to have a good product for this to work, but it works pretty much well for me. I think the only issue I have is most people that buy from us, they then don't go back to the website. They come to WhatsApp to have the conversation and be like, oh, I'm back again, that kind of thing, which I don't like. Nigerians don't like buying on websites. Like, they want to talk to somebody. Now, this is the one where a lot of people think that they are too big for this one. But me, I'm not too big. I make sure that I do this. I make sure I get other people to do this, things like that. Every single thing that involves your launch process, please triple check it and get other people to check it. I'll give you a very good example. If it's an e-commerce store, an e-commerce website, check all your pages, check all the product descriptions, check the buy now button. See, check all these things. There is a bug that can be hiding somewhere and you will not know until launch day. And it's the worst customer experience that your customers can have. You know that thing where they say first impressions matter? Honestly, guys, I think the older I become, the more I understand why people say that. First impressions truly matter. And these are one of the things. So please, in your e-commerce business, check every single thing. Check it, and check it again. Bonus. Leverage paid ads. Okay? Leverage paid ads. Now, I know a lot of us might not have a lot of money to run ads at the beginning or at this launch phase. But if you can, leverage paid ads. Now, pre-launch. Okay, so what I tell people in the EMBA program is before you launch your product, right? And it depends, if you're a dropshipping business, it's a bit different. But ideally, before you launch your products, you want to have at least maybe 30 to 90 pieces of content on the social media, on your preferred social media platform. Whether you are doing TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, choice is yours. Just make sure you pick the right one, right? So you have content on that platform. Ideally, some of that organic content, 1 or 2 or 3 or maybe 15 of them, I should be doing very well. Okay. When you find those ones that are doing well, that have like proper information about your business or about your products, run that as a traffic-led campaign, right? Run it as a traffic-led campaign where you are getting people to visit your, what's it called now, your Instagram page, or you're getting people to visit your Facebook page, or you're even getting people to visit your TikTok, right? Yes, on TikTok, if you don't want to listen to me and wait for your TikTok ads manager, you can use that increase views button. I personally think it's a waste of money. But hey, test it. Everything is just data, right? If it works for you, fantastic. Anyways, now when you actually launch, your traffic campaign changes to a sales campaign. So you begin to run sales. Ideally, if you have an e-commerce website, you built it using Shopify, like I spoke about in the last video, what would happen is your first set of ads, your traffic-led ads, they would automatically retarget those people that visited your Instagram profile. And Meta will try and get those people onto your website. If those people typically buy things online, that is. So yeah, that's how you want to do your paid advertising. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, this is the second part of a 3-part series. The third part, which is coming out next, is all about how to build a sustainable business. Now, when I say sustainable business, it needs to be a business that goes from 3 to 4 to 5 years and beyond. And I'm saying this because whatever you think you learned in year 1 and year 2 of business, trust me, by year 3, that's when the real data, the real historical data and the truth will show itself. Anyways, that's in mind. If you've not watched the video about how to build your Shopify website and you want to use Shopify to build your e-store, go watch that video. You don't need anybody to build it for you. Like the way I did that video, you can build the store yourself. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe if you've not subscribed yet. All right. Peace.